Hi, my name's Emer and I'm striving for self-sufficiency and better preparedness and maybe someday for an NPC Bikini overall win. So I'm reasonably new to the prepper community and I am learning lots, but it does make me wonder if more experienced preppers take their fitness as seriously as their food preps. Health and fitness is a big part of my life and I wasn't sure if it had a place on this YouTube channel. I thought I'd share a little bit about how I got started in the hope that it might encourage others to think about their own fitness and physical health. So just to be aware, this is not advice, this is just me sharing my personal journey. We all have different abilities. Look at what you're physically capable of, seek medical advice if needs be. So even though fitness is a big part of my life now, it wasn't always that way. So at school, I absolutely hated PE. I always came last in races. I didn't enjoy like outdoor games or anything like that. I'd much rather be indoors reading a book. And even, as a teenager, I was quite slim. I did loads of walking, but not for fitness, just purely as a mode of transport. Same at uni, it was, you just walked everywhere because you lived centrally. I did join the gym at uni, but I didn't know what I was doing. And for a long time, I was just that person that could eat whatever I wanted and I could stay slim and it was great. And I just thought I could get away with that for a very long time until I hit my early 20s and then my metabolism slowed down. I think I was about 23 or so when I gained weight for the first time, and this had never happened before, to the point where I just thought my clothes had shrunk in the wash. I didn't own like any bathroom weighing scales, so I had no clue what weight I actually was. And it wasn't until I saw this photograph that I realised something needed to change. I think I did manage to borrow somebody's bathroom scales and I was the heaviest I'd ever been. That's when my partner and I thought, right, well, we'll start eating a bit cleaner and we'll go for a run. And it was on that first run together that I received the best advice ever, and that was to slow down, like slow right down. So I was slowing to like almost, I was jogging very slowly. I probably could have walked faster, but I realised actually I could keep pace and I could keep going without stopping. And this is the first time that had ever happened. So that was a massive game changer for me. From there, I found that I really enjoyed it. So we would go for more runs together and we would increase the distance slightly. And it got to the point where I thought, oh, like maybe I'll look at aiming towards something. So I found like a charity run, a 10K. I got the race pack and everything. I found an online like running training plan. I found that really helpful, and it gave me direction and structure. And that combined with meal prepping and watching what I eat and just cutting out all the sugary rubbish, I started to lose weight. Ran my first 10K. I think that was maybe like May time. And then I just started increasing the distance slowly. So I'd run a little bit further like every week or every other week. And it felt manageable, it felt doable, and I felt so good for hitting these new running goals. And I just felt amazing. Like I just loved how running made me feel. And then in that same year, I thought, right, there's a half marathon coming up soon. Right, I had a few months to train for it. I was already running longish distances. And then I found a half marathon training plan, just booked onto it, and I had something to work towards. It was the best feeling ever to run 13.1 or 2 miles. Half marathon experience was fantastic because all the community gets together and they're like out on the streets giving you like free jelly babies and sweets and stuff. And it was just like one of the best experiences I've ever had. And from there I just sort of kind of kept it up. At that time my workplace was about 4 or 5 miles away. I alternated running and cycling to work. I had a little locker at work and they had showers there, so I was able to I loved that was probably the best part of that job, was the commute and running to work and cycling back and vice versa, because they had bike sheds too. I felt so physically well and fit at that time and I just loved it. Sometimes I did drive to work, and there was one occasion where there was a report that there was some kind of like collision in town and it was causing gridlock. I ended up stuck in traffic for about an hour, and bearing in mind it was maybe a 15-minute drive away normally. Whatever I did, I think I got directed a road I didn't know, and I ended up taking a wrong turn and I ended up back at work again. And I was so fed up at this point. I was busting for the toilet and I just thought, sod it. So I left the car at work, I went to my locker, grabbed my trainers, which I kept in there sometimes for like runs and that, and I decided to run home. So I know a lot of preppers talk about, how would you make it home if there was an issue? It was just sort of, I've had that real life experience where actually I ran home in my work gear. Thankfully it was only 4 or 5 miles away, but it just shows like having that sort of physical fitness was really useful. I was always that person, I still usually have a backpack rather than a handbag, and it's just more practical. So this does have a point. So this is sort of like back to encouraging people to think about their fitness. This is where it can really come in handy for you. I kept up the running. I ended up hurting my foot, and I think I hurt it because I was wearing like really rubbish shoes. Like women's shoes are rubbish, aren't they? Like those flat plimsolly ones. And I remember I hurt it on like a really rocky car park or something stupid like that. And I couldn't run, and I was like, this was like the following year, and I was aiming for the next half marathon, and I think I rested it for a couple of weeks, and then I was like, oh, I just wanted to get on with it. I thought, oh well, I'll just power through and I'll just run this half marathon on a sore foot. And that was the biggest mistake I could have made, because obviously I made it much, much worse. I ran the whole half marathon on a sore foot. If you've got an injury, don't make it worse. And it took years for that to sort of recover, with lots of physio, and it's still not totally right. It still flares up, so I have to be really careful. My long distance running days are definitely over, but I still enjoy it when I can. When my foot was injured, I had some personal training sessions with an ex-colleague. He set up his own like PT business. He was an ex-bodybuilder. I think he was so used to just giving people free advice in the gym that he decided to set up his own business. Those sessions were really valuable. He taught me loads about strength training. I didn't really understand how it worked to like build muscle. I was just interested in how it was like exercises that I'd never really properly done before. I was like working with own body weight and then free weights at the same time. I really, you sort of think of like the key moments that sort of lead you to other decisions. That was one of them. And I think around that time I was interested in training as a bikini competitor, but I did loads of research and it sounded all very, very expensive, and I just didn't have the funds at that time. So I thought, oh, maybe not. And the PT sort of talked me out of it as well. He sort of said, it's like, the industry's not great. It's a bit of a money racket. It's not very healthy. So he talked me out of it as well. I might have had a gym membership and put his plans into place in there, but and then 2020 hit. I didn't do very much. I was like massively stressed. Felt like I couldn't get into a proper routine. I ate loads of junk. I did a lot of comfort eating. I was like really stressed in my job, which was like really full on. I just felt like the world was ending at that time. My health was not in a good place then. Then moved to the house that we moved in now. It was a massive refurb job. I was massively, massively stressed, like unreal stress. I've never felt stressed quite like it. I went off the rails a little bit. So what gave me a bit of stability at that time was Caroline Girvan's YouTube strength training workouts. They were free, they were very well structured. She had lots of advice on diet. They just made sense, and at that point, I just wanted to lose weight and get a bit fitter. I just found like I needed to take control. I bought a set of adjustable dumbbells from Argos, and I did lose weight, but to an unhealthy point. So I realised I was massively underweight and I didn't look good for it. I wanted to keep exercising, but I didn't want to lose any more weight, and I was a bit worried, and I was sort of thinking, like, do I see a nutritionist? Do I, like, what should I do? And then around that time I saw this photograph. It was an acquaintance's sister was competing in a figure competition, and I just thought she looked amazing. It just reminded me that, oh, actually I've always wanted to do bodybuilding and be a bikini athlete. I started looking into coaches, found my current coach, and started my plan. She gave me strength training plans, she gave me nutritional advice, she told me how much to eat in terms of protein, in terms of macros like protein, fats, carbs, calories. There was a meal plan option as well if I wanted, or I could like pick and choose what I wanted to eat. I slowly gained weight. I felt better in myself. I looked better than, being my scrawny self a few months before. It massively helped my mental health, and it just gave me direction, because I knew in my head that I wanted to compete. There's lots of competitions, but yeah, we chose a date. Yeah, and I went for it, and I did it. I competed in my first bikini competition. I came first place, first timers. I think I was the only one in my height class, and I found the overall, like it's like the finals, I found that really exciting. I got a real buzz out of it and I just loved it. I will just have to do another video on the lean down process because it teaches you a lot about hunger, managing your food. Yeah, it's really interesting, but I'll do another video on that. Maybe when I'm in the process, hopefully I'll be in the process later this year. But yeah, it teaches you a lot. So not eating when you're hungry and eating foods that make you feel fuller, it is interesting. I will say, it is intimidating going to the gym for the first time, especially when you're on your own. It is hard, but you do just have to like push through it and just do it. It's just best to just start. I'm really grateful that I started in November when it is quieter and people are more focused on their Christmas shopping than they are about working out. So if you are a bit nervous about going to the gym, go later in the year. Like November, December is like an excellent time to go to the gym because people, yeah, they're too busy or they're taking time off. These things take time. Yeah, so with bikini, so it's not a beauty contest. It is in the bodybuilding realm, but my partner jokes that they're just vanity muscles. I understand what he's saying because bodybuilding is very much about building a shape. So my coach gives me a plan tailored to what shape I need to be. So bikini is all about big shoulders, big glutes, sort of creating that hourglass shape or that X-frame shape. I don't think there's anything wrong with, you know, doing a lot of glute workout because I've got strong legs, so that's how I see it. Yeah, just having that strength and that general fitness. Like I go to the gym 5 days a week. When I'm leaning down for a competition, I go 6 days a week. It becomes really, really intense. And on that lean down, you've also got cardio. On the lean down, they call it prep. So they'll say, oh, you know, are you on prep? When does prep start? So things might get confusing later this year. On prep, it does get really tough and you're really pushing your body to a state that it doesn't want to be in. Like it's not pretty. It's you really push your body into a stressful situation. So it's not all glamour is all I'd say. Everybody on that stage has worked really, really hard. They have put in hours and hours of cardio, hours and hours of gym sessions. So it is quite insulting when someone says like, it's just a beauty contest or whatever. It's really just showcasing the hard work that athletes have put in, whether they're amateur or pro. These are people that really like love what they do. And I know it's weird and I'm not a showy person or a glamorous person at all, but I do love the performance behind going on stage. It's just fun. It's just nice to be somebody else for just a short moment because I don't normally look like that. I'm normally in my gardening scruffs or my gym scruffs. I don't wear makeup and it's just nice to, yeah, just to have show day and just, yeah, have a bit of fun with it. And I really think I'm going to look back in years to come and just think, wow, I once looked like that. And I'm kind of doing it for my, yeah, kind of like my bucket list or for my older self, just to know that I've had that experience. At the moment, I'm on maintenance weight, a lot of things, but especially with fitness, it's all about consistency. So consistently eating well, consistently going to the gym or working out if you work out at home. Consistency is key. And I think it's about focusing on what you can do. So if you do have a disability or an injury, it's just finding ways around that. So I did hurt my shoulder lifting that, I think it was partly lifting that horse manure from ages ago, lifting things that were too heavy for me. So I did have to take some time away from training. You know, I've been doing more lower body sessions instead to make up for it. I've given it rest time. I've been like working on, you know, exercises to help heal that. I hope to do another competition this year, but we're just going to see, because I thought at one point, I thought, oh my gosh, this shoulder's never going to heal, but it is starting to feel better, which is good. But I just love the challenge. And I think having a coach for that accountability is just something else. I can do training plans by myself, but just getting like another opinion on what I should be doing. And then, you know, especially when you don't have to think, like I'm given a fitness plan, I'm told exactly what to work out, I'm told exactly what tempo, how many reps, how many sets. It's tailored to me and my shape. So there's other ladies in the team, ladies and men, but ladies in the team who, you know, some need to work on their glutes, some need to work on their shoulders like me. We've all got slightly different goals, so it's not just one size fits all. It's tailored to you. Just having a bit of hand holding is really, really important. If you are, well, if you're anyone, but especially if you're a prepper and your food preps are in a really good place, but maybe your fitness isn't, I would hugely encourage you to think about what can you do, what can you start doing to increase your fitness. Are you getting enough steps, for example? Getting steps in is a really good starting point, especially if you're a bit unfit. So if you're physically able, I would suggest 10,000 steps per day. That's what I currently do. When I'm prepping for a competition, it goes up. But that's one of my current tick boxes, and I've noticed a difference. There was a year that I didn't focus on steps when I first started compared to now, and it really helps my overall fitness. So it helps keep my, sort of maintain my shape. Steps are good for overall fitness. Get your steps in. Can you get some dumbbells? Adjustable dumbbells are really good, because then, not everything you want to be on the heaviest weight. Some things you need lighter weights for. Can you use your tins of beans to work with? Can you, fill some empty milk cartons with water and use them? I know people during lockdown that used buckets of sand. I think they bought a barbell, the 20 kg barbell, and then they put buckets of sand on either side for their deadlifts and stuff. So there's ways and means. There's lots of other YouTube channels which have such great recommendations of what you can do at home for free. YouTube fitness videos are fantastic. Even things like, don't laugh, but dance videos. Just something that gets you moving. There are injury specific training videos. There's chair exercises if you maybe do have a disability. Again, like, check with your doctor what you're allowed to do that won't cause any issues. Don't make excuses, because there will be a way. I think if care homes can have, chair exercises, then I think able-bodied adults, younger adults can too. Yeah, please do think about your fitness. It's so important. They do say health is wealth, and I think it's a really good motto to stand by. If you are looking to strength train, even as a lifestyle client, my coach has got a discount code at the minute, so I will pop that in the description. You get money off, and then I get a bit of money off too, so it's a win-win. It's just, if you're looking to take things a bit more seriously and you would like direction, I would recommend her. I've been with her for 3 years now as a competitor, but she does cater to lifestyle clients that just want to get in shape. So massively recommend. She's got all the qualifications and everything too. So she knows what she's talking about. She's been doing it for a long time. Please let me know what you're training for, and if you've got any fitness goals, or I don't know, marathons, or I know Mike UK Prepper is doing a hiking challenge this year. Please let me know what your fitness goals are this year, and I'm always interested to know how people are getting on. Want to see more about my fitness journey, prepping journey and gardening updates, please hit like and subscribe, and I'll keep you updated. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.